Hi, this is Brian Alexander from Time.com, and we're here with Jon Favreau, the director and star of Iron Man 2, and we're doing readers' questions. Michael Lindsay from Chesapeake, Virginia asks, Robert Downey Jr. has an eccentric way about him in many of his roles. Does that bleed through in real life?
Yeah, he's an eccentric guy. I think that's a good word for him. He's talented, eccentric. He definitely thinks, he's more of a creative thinker than an organized thinker. And so a lot of our balance that we strike is a lot of ideas coming and then me trying to figure out how to narrow them down or build upon them sometimes. Sometimes an idea is just inspired and it works its way into the film. Sometimes an idea is something that inspires other people to have other ideas. So he definitely is he's definitely the stirrer in the cocktail glass.
Oh, wow. Very, very impressive individual. She's fluent in French, Italian, Russian, Latin. Who speaks Latin?
No one speaks Latin. It's a dead language. You can read Latin or you can write Latin, but you can't speak Latin.
Because she modeled in Tokyo.
Elena Musanova of Moscow, Russia, asks, lately in American movies and TV shows, there have been a lot of Russian villains.
Yes.
Why are you picking on us?
Why am I picking on that?
You particularly.
Quite the contrary. I mean, back in the old days in the Iron Man comic books, all the bad guys were Russian, were Soviet, because it was the Cold War. Now we tried to maintain the nationality of the bad guy from the comic of Whiplash, or in the case Ivan Vanko, but we didn't make him like a Soviet, super warrior. He's an individual. He's a criminal from the other side of the world, but he's not part of he doesn't represent the Russian system. It was just an interesting look and affectation to give Mickey Rourke that he definitely gravitated towards.
You come from a family of thieves and butchers. And now, like all guilty men, you try to rewrite your own history. And you forget all the lives the Stark family has destroyed.
Speaking of thieves, where did you get this design?
My father, Anton Vanko.
Oh, I never heard of him.
Because of Avatar, 3D is all the rage.
Yes.
Would you consider using that technology in your future projects?
Yes. I love 3D. I think when it's applied properly, it's a tremendous resource. It allows you to tell a story in a way that, at least when I watch it as a moviegoer, it affects me in a different way. When it's done properly, it's more dreamlike, more subjective. The industry, as much money as they seem to be taking in, is actually hurting a great deal from piracy. And this allows the theatrical window to be more robust. And so people are converting films that they have shot in 2D and never having intended to present it in 3D. And I think that's going to water down the medium because people are not going to necessarily get the quality that they've come to expect from a film shot in stereo like Avatar from something that's converted with new, maybe unproven technology.
Frank Murtaugh from Memphis, Tennessee says, among all the heroes in the Marvel Universe, why Iron Man?
For me, Iron Man was, it was one of the titles that Marvel, the studio, had the rights to. It was the biggest hero. All their big boys had been already sold off to other studios like Spider-Man and X-Men and Daredevil. So Iron Man was a second-tier hero, but part of the original pantheon, he's been around for 40 years.
Go get him, boss.
You complete me?
I liked him because it was a hero that was a peer to me, so I could tell a story that I could relate to. It wasn't about a kid in high school. I also liked that he was a normal person that built the suit as opposed to somebody who had some magical thing happen to him that created his heroic powers. So you could set it in a very real world that I think played into my strengths and sensibility. And then also I felt that CGI could handle an iron suit more than an organic figure. And it was a story that you couldn't tell before CG because of all the things he does, with the flying and the weapons and all those things. So it seemed like a fresh story that was well suited for this moment in time.
Emily Hansen from Sands Point, New York asks, how does your experience as a director influence your acting and vice versa?
I'd say I learned more as a director from being an actor than vice versa. I've had the good fortune of being able to apprentice. I'm sort of a de facto apprentice on these movies that I'm an actor on, because I get to watch the director, follow him around, ask him questions, ask all the department heads questions on the set. And that was my learning. That was my film school. I got to watch directors direct. And then I try to emulate the ones that I respect. Most directors don't have that experience. You come out of film school, or you write a script, or you pull money together and you're on a set for the first time. You're on a set, you're the boss. That's a weird way to learn how to do something. And so being on other people's sets and watching the flow of work and watching how they handle people gave me a tremendous leg up on other people who were other first-time directors who had never had that experience.
Well, we've wrapped up. Thank you
Great.
so much
Okay.
for taking time in your busy
Thank you.
schedule, and best of luck with Iron Man 2.
Good. Thank you. Thank you all.